Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time watching, we are your Colorado real estate family. We're out here right now, super cold, so much so our camera freaking decided to turn off on us. I don't know if it was because it's so cold. But we're bringing a great city today. We're talking about Golden, Colorado, pros and cons.
Alright, let's go. Alright, Chelsea and Pete Sweeney here, and we cover what it's like to live in Colorado, Denver, and any of its surrounding cities. So if you're interested in moving into Colorado, do yourself a favor, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you're notified every single time that we bring you new content.
Yeah, guys, we like bringing you that boots on the ground expert advice in regards to moving into Colorado, so it's super important. Also, if you are moving to Colorado, licensed real estate agent here helping you out with all your real estate needs. So go ahead and give us a phone call on the phone number we're going to put in right below here. Alright, let's dive in because it's freaking cold out. Okay.
No, I just got a snowflake in my eyeball. If you rewind it back 5 seconds, you'll see me go. All right, anyways.
It's cold. Chelsea was out here doing a little bit of a dance because she was trying to warm up. We want to bring this amazing view of Golden. Golden in itself is such an awesome city. Yeah, we did a video on Golden probably a few months back. It was so much warmer. The river down there was flowing like crazy. It was awesome out, and now it's just crazy cold.
Well, and what a better time in the fall time. You can see the colors already turning behind us and stuff.
Yes, so it's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. This is Colorado, right? We're in the dead of winter right now, where it's just the 1st of February. This is what we kind of constantly run into when it comes to bringing you those winters in Colorado.
Yeah, so we're gonna start today with some cons, and we want to end it on the good note. So we're gonna start with the first con, and really, it's actually kind of pertains to the downtown Golden area, but there's really no like main street that's like super accessible or easy to drive in Golden. So we would say that, I mean, I guess what's the first con? That there's no main street?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're sitting there traveling inside of Old Golden, it kind of sucks. There's a lot of one-ways, there's a lot of confusing roads and stuff. And so every time that we kind of drive down here and always trying to commute inside the city of Golden, the older part, it's horrible. I mean, the layout is so bad.
Small, and it's super hilly, so you can't see at every corner. Like, you don't have a lot of visibility. And then of course the main street coming off 52, which 52 is the highway that you come in. I guess from I-70.
Yep.
You would take 52 kind of west going towards the mountains, and that's, I mean, we're at Lookout Mountain right now, which we'll talk a little bit about. But when you go off of 52, you go down the main street getting into Old Town, and that's the only like real main street, and it is just
you got sick. So if like, yeah, you might be able to see it. So right below us, this road, they kind of see, I don't know if I'm pointing to it or not. This is 6, and that kind of goes into the newer part of Golden, which is going to be more that way, which is south. And so that's where you'll have kind of Jefferson County Courthouse over there. You have all the newer development going in, all the new retail and all that stuff. So pretty much South Golden is your newer part. Right now, what we're looking at right now is the older part. And this is where the congestion with the commute is a little sucky.
Yeah,
so,
a little sucky.
All right, cool. So second con in regards to Golden, Colorado is the cost of real estate. The reason this is a huge con is because it has increased so much lately these last few years.
Yeah.
And so right now we're standing at a median sales price point of $883. That is huge. We talk about Boulder all the time, how it's like right at $900,000. It's right below Boulder. And then, like I said, between those two cities, in regards to when we're comparing all these cities around Denver, it's just super high. Denver in itself, the median sales price point is $575. That kind of gives you an idea of how much higher Golden is compared to these cities that are more in the Denver metro area.
The other thing too is, like decades ago, like Golden used to say that it was a polar opposite of Boulder. But in a lot of the recent studies and comparing prices and kind of its culture and all of that, it's actually kind of like almost just
it's
like
becoming
Boulder.
A lot like Boulder. I mean, they're both college towns. They're both, so it's
and they're
like,
both right, pretty much embezzled in the foothills, if not in the, parts of it in the mountains. And so it is kind of another option if you're not trying to go as far north or as far, I guess, northwest as Boulder. Golden is where people are kind of landing. So, but you're starting to see a lot of that culture change and start to kind of replicate, especially the prices. So
yeah, and I will argue. I mean, I know like this is where we're in cons right now, but I would say I think Golden's prettier than Boulder. I'm not gonna lie, but that's my own personal opinion.
Boulder darts are coming. Okay, so the third con that we're going to talk about is this could be a pro and a con, but we're going to stick on the con here, that it has a lot of hills, a lot of deep valleys, and because of that, say January, it almost feels like the sun sets at 3:30. So that's kind of, you know, a con, because you lose a lot of that sunlight because you're in this valley of Golden, and so you still have sunshine all year round, just like, you know, that's one of the best things about Colorado is you have all the sunshine. But depending on where you are in Colorado, you start to feel like that sun's going down earlier than it typically does.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, for me personally, I hate short days. Like, that's one of my biggest pet peeves against wintertime is, like, I like sitting out until 8 o'clock at night, right? Is the sun still up? It's just setting right before 9 o'clock. So that 3:30 thing, that would bother me a little bit. I love that sunshine, you know, and that's the big reason why I like summer, but definitely a huge con.
Well, yeah, and again, this is because Golden's right next to the mountain. I mean, we're on Lookout Mountain, which, I mean, that's Golden right there. so, you know, as the sun is setting, you lose all of that because of the mountains. So, you know, it's kind of definitely like, hey, I want to be close to the mountains. Like, it's one of those things that you're going to have to weigh, right? And it's obviously not like that all year round, but definitely in January, they feel like 3:30 is kind of when the sun goes down.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Fourth con, and this one, I don't know if you can see over my shoulder right here, but if you can see over my shoulder over here, you got the Coors beer factory plant or whatever the heck you call it, you know, Coors beer and all that stuff. It stinks. I'm not gonna lie.
And the water plant.
And the water plant. And so it's like if you're driving in on 52, you could definitely smell it. Can't smell it too much right now. I don't know if they have something around Old Town Golden where, you know, it's kind of mitigates that smell a little bit, but when you're driving in on 52, you could definitely smell that brew a little bit.
Yeah, so you're driving in, you can smell it. I think that the, like, people who live in Golden will probably, you know, dispute that, you know, high winds, maybe you can smell it, things like that, but still, it's the main highway getting in, and it is pretty stinky, and I'm sure with the winds, you're gonna smell that in town whether you like it or not, but it's probably not as big of a deal the further away from kind of that old town, downtown Golden. So if you're getting into the newer parts of Golden, it might not be an issue, but it definitely is coming into Old Town.
Yeah, and I don't know, like, I was kind of talking to Chelsea about this as we looked up, as we were kind of driving through. So you can't see them, but they already landed. There were some paragliders that were kind of coming in and out of here. If you're ever driving into Golden on 52, you're always seeing these paragliders, and it's super awesome. Check it out. Look at this paraglider up here. Where's he at? That is awesome. There's a city right there. There's the paraglider. Could have sworn that there's something in this area about the updrafts and downdrafts and stuff that's kind of pushing them up and down.
Yeah, especially when Coors was, like, you know, really, you know, producing a lot in the summertime or where the heat is going, you could definitely smell
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I feel like driving in today, it didn't smell as bad as when we drive in the summertime.
Yeah,
so,
agreed.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
all right, cool. We're gonna dive into the pros. Yep, pros. Here we go. And on a good note, right?
Yes, and let's be real. There's a lot of good things about Golden.
It's true.
Okay, so the first one being that Golden has this mountain town feel. You're as close to the mountains as you're going to pretty much get, but it doesn't have the elevation. So the elevation is actually 5,675, which is way better than having to be in some mountain town like an hour up the mountain. So definitely a good like, you can bring people here. They're not going to have that altitude sickness. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but, you know, coming to Colorado, if you are going to some of the more, you know, prestigious mountain towns, you're going
Vail, Breckenridge, all those good ones. Yeah.
A lot of people don't do very well with the altitude.
I have a family member who gets altitude sickness, and it's like they have a hard time breathing sometimes even. So that's a thing, you know. And so you get to experience that mountain townness without the elevation, which is pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, and then not only that, but like oxygen. So like if, you know, people are retiree or they're on oxygen or elderly population, you know, they obviously have a really hard time with altitude. So they can still enjoy all of the wonderful things about being in the foothills without having to deal with all of the downsides of the elevation and all of that. also in the altitude.
Yep.
Okay, which kind of gets into the next
I was going to say that kind of like segues into our next one, which is this proximity. Golden is perfect if you want to like have that mountain lifestyle, but still be close to Denver.
Yes.
You have like a 20 to 30 minute drive into Denver, not bad whatsoever, but at the same time, you are seriously right in the mountains. You got Clear Creek Canyon or Coal Creek Canyon right here. You go up there whenever you want. They got all kinds of, I mean, people freaking rock crawling up there. They got kayaking just down here at Clear Creek. Super amazing, all the crazy stuff that you can do here in Golden.
Yeah, and then not only that, but you're embedded in the foothills. So if you have little kiddos, you know, there is not going to be a lack of finding sledding hills or anything like that. You can go right down the street and you'll have plenty of hills to choose between on some of those kind of winter sports and things like that. Obviously, you're going to be driving into the mountains, but you're right there to go into the mountains if you're trying to hop up to some of the ski resorts. I mean, gosh, how far do you think it would be from here?
To get to the ski resorts, it's hard because the majority of your time driving to the ski resorts starts right here, right? And so it's like as you kind of I-70 into the mountains, that's where you hit all the traffic and everything. So you're still probably looking about, I'd say, an hour and a half to get to like Copper Mountain or some of the beginning resorts. Yeah,
but think about it. Like when we go for the mountains, and this is kind of how most locals do it. Like they'll leave really early in the morning to beat some of that traffic, and you kind of get a head start. Like we actually stop in Golden.
It's changed. So I literally, I just had a client who was driving up to Copper on Saturday, and he left at 5:30 in the morning. And he said he hit that damn traffic. He still got
it. Mm-hmm. So we actually used to stop off at the Golden exit and get Santiago's. Do you remember that? Before we headed up.
We haven't talked about Santiago's burritos in a while in our videos.
I don't think it's there anymore.
No, it's not here anymore, but Santiago's all over Colorado. So
this snow, I don't know if you can see that it's actually snowing on us right now, and that if my hand starts doing weird things, it's because it's frozen. But I'm not really crying. I know Golden is just to die for, but I like it's just completely snowing in my eyeballs.
Yeah, we're getting ready to get a huge storm here in Colorado. Everyone's warning about it, but we wanted to.
We love to record outside. We want to show you all the beautiful things about Colorado. Yeah. Wear mittens. That was dumb.
Just wear some warmer clothes. It's all.
Okay, let's talk about one of the best things about Golden, and that's our pro number 3, and that is going to be Old Town, which kind of like. Peter and I were like, how do we put this into a category? But I really want to talk about also like the river and all of that. So Old Town, obviously, like all the things that we talk about that people love about Colorado is that we have these old towns embedded in a bunch of cities, but Golden has that special old town that people are trying to replicate, right? Like it was established with the city, and it's just it's everything that people want with the walkability and the restaurants and the local vendors, at different stores.
All the different festivities that they have. They have Buffalo Bill Days. We were just going through his Golden Days in Golden or something like that.
I think it's for Golden Retrievers.
It's attributed towards Golden Retrievers.
They're just so
it's like
cute.
They always do all these activities. If you're ever in Golden in the summertime, it is super vibrant. Something that is amazing you have to experience. Yes. That's why we wanted to bring the river into this, because the river is alive. There's people up and down the river just doing whatever. They're doing the kayaking. They're swimming. It's just amazing here in Golden how crazy and how lively the city becomes in the summertime.
I mean, honestly, guys, it's a lifestyle in Golden. Yeah. And, you're not in Golden like without really experiencing some of the things that Golden is known for. And how many cities can you go to where Coal Creek River is just
Clear Creek.
Clear Creek. What did I say? Coal
Clear
Creek.
Coal Creek's further north.
That's the other one. Clear Creek River is just flowing right through your town, and it's so active. And I mean, you can swim. Like we used to
do it all the time. We used to do a summer fest that we always do, and we have this huge bash. Of course, this was way before kids, but we used to just seriously post up in the parking lot, bring a grill,
on top
and just
of the
crazy party.
We had a grill on the
back of the trailer. On the trailer, yeah.
It's kind of ghetto now that I say it out loud.
I mean, we're in our 20s, and it, you do some crazy stuff in your 20s for sure. So.
But anyways, that is one thing that you're not going to get in any other city. Having that river flow right through, right close to Denver, you just don't really have that anywhere else.
Yep.
Okay, and the fourth one.
The fourth one.
It's room to play. So we actually looked this up because we knew that this had so many open spaces and so many different places
Parks
to play.
And such,
So we did look up exactly how much for you. So it's 402 acres of open space, tons, and then 253 acres of parks within the city itself.
Yep.
That's insane, especially for a feeling. Oh my gosh, look! I wonder if they can see all the fog.
Oh, it's coming in, yeah.
You're not gonna be able to see Golden, and we just drove all the way up here.
The storm is coming in for sure.
We're gonna be like, okay. Anyways, there is so many. So not only the river and all of that, there's so much open space to play in and to
and the parks. It's a ton ton of stuff here.
Yeah.
If you can see down below,
School of Mines is right down there as well too. They got their fields and all that, but there's just, I mean, if you want to come here and have that outdoor play lifestyle, you're definitely going to get it in Golden.
I'm gonna start doing this. Don't judge me. You come out here.
I'm not gonna lie, I cannot feel my ears right now. I should have worn a hat.
Dedication. Hey, if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now because we are here for you and we're doing all these videos, even if it's snowing out, to make sure that we bring you the most up-to-date information about these surrounding cities.
Yeah, guys, if you're looking at moving to Colorado, like I said, we're going to throw our phone number in right below or here again. Give us a ring. We love hearing from you. We are hearing from you on a constant basis. Thank you so much. We love it. Until next time, see ya.
Bye.